What's going on, guys? Some of you may know, some may not, but a lot of you guys probably don't know about the truck build that I'm doing. It is a truck that I'm building for Dragweek. It's to be specific, it's like a 2003 S10 Xtreme pickup truck. So as far as like the engine combo goes, it's basically a 427 LSX, billet crank, billet rods. I got a Bryant billet crank in it, Cali's Ultra I-beam billet rods, a set of custom billet diamond pistons, billet Frankenstein freak show intake manifold, 16 injector dual fuel. It'll run on E85 on the street, and then I have like a set of 800-pound injectors from billet atomizers to run alcohol when I want to run it on full tilt. So yeah, it's a pretty extensive build. It's a full tube chassis. A friend of mine, True Welding, Kevin Chipotin, is actually doing the chassis for me. Probably butchered his last name, but yeah, he is a rear-wheel drive LSX Neon, so I'm sure a lot of people in Michigan know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I'm actually going to check on the truck now. We made like a lot of headway on it chassis wise, and yeah, go from there. Alright, so I just pulled up at the shop. I'm gonna go in and give you guys a little in-depth look at the truck. So, yep. Here it is. Skinny kid race cars. Ford 10-inch. That's actually a Marty Merrill center section though. Synth double adjustables, a 10-inch stroke. And then this is actually a ramp that I had Kevin make for my dirt bike, because I'm gonna still basically haul it around in the truck. See, I got a pretty beefy Tim McAmis wishbone, billet center section. That's a Ford 10-inch. This thing looks amazing. And then this is anti-roll bar. It's 3-inch diameter Mark Williams with spherical bearings. This is also splined. This thing, I just can't get over it. Drivetrain mocked up. And it also have scent buffs on the front. I don't document this shit enough. Then I'm also running Marty Merrillet's 4-link brackets in the rear. These are kind of overkill. The light brackets, I'm picking these up though, but these are like 1/2-inch billet brackets. And then for the wheel setup, these are 15 by 14s, double B lock wheels with 3-inch back spacing. And then the rear is a forward 10-inch 40 spline floater rear with the 40 spline spool.
On 1,000 horsepower, Casey, in my car, no joke, I'd go 5.1, 1/8 mile, let out, and still go 850s at 120, coasting from 1/8.
Wow.
On 20 pounds. On 10 pounds, I'd run it out the back door, go 156, 860s with a 1.360. Yes, your car's gonna fly, like, if you want it. Oh, I know how we do it because of Eli. Be doing fuck Dragweek, let's do Baja 1000. But you would need like your suspension. Like for one of those days, we would have to hike up your suspension. You know what I'm saying?
Alright, so I figured while we were on the subject of the truck, I'd also show you guys what the motor setup consists of. So as you can see, this is a LSX 6-bolt block. Also got 6-bolt heads. Right now I have the oil pan off. I actually have a dry sump setup on this motor. Specifically a 7-stage daily dry sump setup. It's like one of the best dry sumps you could get for an LS motor. But as you can see, I got a center counterweight crank in it. It's a billet crank from Bryant. It's 4-inch stroke. I got a set of Cali's Ultra I-beam rods. Those are also billet rods. And then I got a set of diamond pistons. The compression is like 12-to-1. What else? Let's see. And this is actually the dry sump setup right here. So you can see this is like a really nice piece. It's individual scavenge sections for each bay of the crankcase. So like cylinders, what is it? Cylinders 1 and 2 will be on this one. 3 and 5 on this one, etc. So they all have individual scavenge sections. You can see the little slit in there right there. And then this is the pump right here. So you have the pressure side. You have two dash 16 scavenge sections. You have one, let's see if I can get a picture of it or get it on camera. You got one for the turbo right here, and then you got another one for crankcase pressure right here. Let's see. So I'm gonna throw this on, and then I'm gonna give you a better look at everything with the intake and the dry sump actually bolted up to the motor. But so yep, give me 1 second. I'm gonna get everything bolted back on, because I actually just had to take this dry sump off and put it on my mock-up block in the truck that I just showed you guys in the chassis shop, just to make sure fitment was right for the tube front end. So I'm gonna throw that back on because I don't want any of this stuff to rust up. I got it oiled pretty good, so I'm not really too worried about it. But yeah, let me throw it on, and then I'll get you a better look at everything. Alright, so as you guys can see, I got the dry sump back on, and you can see this thing like barely hangs off the motor, so you can get a really low crank center line with this. I mean, with the exception to the clearance to the flex plate. That's also a pretty baller piece that I bought. This is a I might butcher their name when I say this, but it's a Bonanfanti flex plate. It's a one single piece all billet flex plate. It's a really stout piece, but yeah, this thing is pretty trick. So as you can see, I got the Frankenstein Freak Show. It's a billet intake that Frankenstein Engine Dynamics makes. I actually sent mine out, and I got a 16 injector conversion. Shout out to Chris Stewart. He does a lot of like one-off fabrication stuff. So you can see I have injectors going inside the intake manifold horizontally or at an angle. Those are actually 275 pound injectors from Fuel Injector Development. Shout out to Tom Sewell. Probably makes the best LS injectors. So if you're looking for anything fuel related, definitely hit him up. So I don't have my billet atomizers in right now. I'm running a set of 800 pound billet atomizers for my alcohol fuel system. I left those out because I didn't want to take a chance with those getting contaminated. I mocked them up once just to make sure everything would clear, and they fit perfect. Let's see. So you can see I got two fuel regulators. This one right here is for my alcohol fuel system. This one is for the E85 fuel system. This is the E85 pump. This is cam driven. And then I have another 24 gallon per minute Waterman Little Bertha. That's actually mounted on this side over here. That's why I have this stud right here, because I was trying to get the right pulley protrusion for it to make sure it lined up. Yeah, I think I have that in the house somewhere. But yeah, this is it should be a pretty rowdy setup when I get everything together. So really the only thing I'm waiting for right now is just the chassis, but we've been making a lot of headway with that. Let's see what else. I do have a solid roller cam. The reason I don't have valve covers yet is because I was going to get a custom set of billet valve covers made for it. So you can see I got the stainless steel Crowler rocker arms on there. Little John Motorsports did the cam. It's like a 750 lift cam, 40 degrees overlap. 268, 276 duration, and I will be running a set of GTR 88s from Forced Inductions. So I'll get a little snippet of those too, so you guys can see the turbos. But like I said, LSX block, 6 bolt heads. These are some Trick Flow 245s. These did have the hit option done to them. That basically just solidifies the head a little bit more. Just make sure that no porosity is in the casting. So yeah, it's almost like a billet cast head, if that makes sense. Not quite billet, but it's the hit process definitely helps. And I don't know if I mentioned it, but this is also a 427 cubic inches, 12-to-1 compression. And then you can see I also have the adjustable belt drive there. So yeah, this should be a pretty stout piece. I mean, if I could do it over again, I would just go billet. I mean, because this build just kind of snowballed out of control on me. So but yeah, this should be a 2500 horsepower plus setup all day. And like I said, it's more important for me to retain the streetability of it. I mean, it's like anybody can build a race car, but it's literally like trying to build two cars when you want all the creature comforts and still want to make the power. So but yeah, let me go grab the turbos and then I'll show you guys a little snippet of that as well. Alright, so here are the turbos. These are GT50 turbine based GTR 88s over from Jose over at Forced Inductions. Yeah, these are some pretty bad mofos. I got them a while ago. He's got newer tech since then, but these will easily make the power that I want to make. So you can see I got them all polished out. These have dual ball bearing centers. It's a towel V-band turbine housing, and then you can see the Garrett covers. So I'm running 2 of these. These should make some pretty good power. And this is also another nice piece I picked up. Almost forgot that I had this, but this is a clear view filtration filter. This basically lets you see any contaminants in your oil, so you can see that mesh filter inside of there. Then you got like a little air port right here to spray a shot of compressed air in there, and it basically gets rid of any oil on top of this mesh filter, and it leaves whatever contaminants are in there like right on top, so you can visibly see it. So whether it's bearing material or whatever. So this is another nice piece that I'm also running on my setup. Little trick piece that I got that I wanted to show you guys that I'm running on my setup is this electromechanical clutch. It basically acts similar to a AC compressor clutch. Chris Stewart actually designed this, which is the same guy that modified my intake for the extra 8 injectors in the belly right there. So I'm actually running this on my alcohol fuel system. You can see this has like a cog belt pulley on the back. So it spins off the crank, and you have like 2 wires here, and if you look closely you can see a hex in there, and it matches the alcohol fuel pump that I have, which is also a Waterman Little Bertha. So how this works is you pretty much run an output pin on the ECU and have you can either have it tune controlled, so it automatically engages this clutch to start spinning the alcohol fuel pump, or you could just have like a virtual switch and turn it on manually. So I'll personally be having mine tune controlled because I'll have multiple tunes set up, one for each fuel basically. And yeah, it's just neat because like I said, that fuel pump, it flows like 24 gallons per minute. That's a lot of fuel, and if you're just needlessly pumping fuel like that, you're basically just creating heat for no reason. Like if I'm not driving around on alcohol, I don't need it actually, you know, pumping fuel for no reason. So this is pretty neat. It'll basically allow me to turn that alcohol fuel pump on and off as needed. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, so another thing that I'll be doing is moving my turbos back towards the firewall. So if you follow me online on Instagram, you've seen that like I posted pictures of the turbos being mounted in the grill and whatnot. I actually decided to take them out because it's just, I'm having really tight fitment issues. I mean, I could probably pull it off with the turbos mounted in the grill like they were, but it would just be much easier and much more ethical to run them near the firewall, one being weight distribution and the other being just the ease of tying a full exhaust system into the downpipes, because I will have basically 2 exhaust systems on this truck. So I'll have like a 4-inch downpipe dump. That's when I want to make all the power, and then I'll have either a 2 3/4 or 3-inch pipe tied into each turbo downpipe, and I'll have those controlled with a loud valve. It's basically a boost actuated cutout, and yeah, I'll basically have the ability to run full exhaust when I want to and quiet the truck down tremendously. So that'll be a nice little feature. But other than that, that's about it for right now. We should be making some headway, more headway pretty soon on the truck. It's already exceeded my expectations on where we are chassis wise with it. So yeah, stay on the lookout, and I should have more updates soon, because I will be dropping more parts off to Kevin over at True Welding, and we can get this chassis knocked out and ready for powder coat. So stay tuned, and I will have more updates soon.